Okay, so as a creative, you pour everything into your portfolio, right? Your heart, your soul, countless hours. But once it's out there, online, there's always that nagging question. Is it actually working for you? Today, we're going to flip that switch. We're turning all that uncertainty into real power by using data to make your portfolio not just beautiful, but seriously effective.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It keeps so many of us up at night. You've built this incredible showcase of your best work. You launch it, and then what? Crickets? You're essentially flying blind. You have no real clue who's visiting, what they're clicking on, or if they're impressed. It honestly feels like you're just shouting into the void.
But we're going to change all that, starting right now. Here's our game plan. We're going to walk through 6 steps together. First, we'll shift our mindset from art to analytics. Then we'll get our tools set up, figure out what success actually looks like for you, and then, the fun part, we become detectives to understand our audience. And finally, we'll use all those clues to make smarter design choices and build a feedback loop so you're always improving.
So our adventure kicks off with a simple mindset shift. Let's just stop thinking of Google Analytics as this scary, complicated beast for marketing nerds. Instead, I want you to think of it like a magic lens. It's a tool that lets you finally see how your amazing creative work is really performing out there in the big wide world. And look, this isn't about you becoming some kind of data scientist. Not at all. It's about becoming a smarter, more informed designer. The whole point here is to pull back the curtain, to demystify what's happening on your site. We're turning data from a scary obstacle into your most powerful, most insightful creative partner.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. First things first, we need to set up what I like to call our data compass. And I promise you, this is way easier than it sounds. You do not need to be a coding genius or a tech wizard to get this thing up and running in like 10 minutes.
It's literally just 3 little steps. 1. You go into your Google Analytics account and grab your unique tracking code. 2. You pop that code onto your website. And if you're using something like WordPress, there are free plugins that do this for you with a single click. No code needed? Seriously. And 3. You double-check that it's actually working.
And how do you check? Well, once that code is in, you just head over to the real-time report in Analytics. You see that little 1 under Users right now? That's you! That's your phone or your computer. It's that instant aha moment. It's confirmation that your compass is working and you are officially collecting data. It feels awesome.
Okay, now, before we dive into a sea of charts and numbers and get totally lost, we have to define our quest. We need to ask, what does success actually mean for my portfolio? What's the one thing you really want a recruiter or a potential client to do? Is it to download your resume, fill out your contact form? You have to define the goal first.
Right, so the trick here is to turn those goals into things you can actually measure. So for example, if your goal is for someone to download your PDF portfolio, that becomes a trackable event you can call simply download. If they fill out your contact form, that becomes an event called generate_lead. By setting these up as what we call conversions, you're basically telling analytics, hey, pay attention, these are the actions that really matter to me. Okay, our compass is set, our destination is locked in, now the real fun starts. It's time to put on our detective hats and start decoding the story our audience is telling us with every single click. All the clues are right there in the data. We just need to know where to look.
And boom, right away, we find a massive clue. Just look at the device breakdown. In this example, a whopping 60% of all visitors are looking at this portfolio on a mobile phone. Just let that sink in for a second. That means creative directors, recruiters, potential clients, they're scrolling through your work on their phones, maybe between meetings or on their commute. That one number tells you so much.
And this single insight leads directly to a super clear, actionable design decision. If most of your audience is on their phone, your portfolio absolutely, 100%, has to be amazing on mobile first. That means you've got to focus on fast load times and a simple, clean, vertical scroll. You see, you're no longer just guessing what people want, you're responding directly to how your audience is actually behaving.
Okay, let's dig a little deeper with another huge question. You're probably getting traffic from all over the place, right? Instagram, Behance, LinkedIn, maybe you're even running some ads. But which of those places are bringing you the good traffic? You know, the visitors that actually turn into job offers and clients.
This right here is why we have to focus on conversions, not just raw traffic. Look at this table. Sure, Instagram is sending the most visitors, the most sessions, But wait, if we sort by portfolio inquiries, our key conversion, the story completely changes. It's actually Behance and paid search that are driving the real results. This is gold. It tells you exactly where to double down on your time, energy, and your money.
This is it. This is the moment we've been building towards. We've gathered the clues, we've analyzed the evidence, and now it's time to take real, tangible action. We're going to use what we've learned to actively make the design and the content of the portfolio itself better.
And one of the first things you'll realize is a simple truth. Some of your projects just connect with people way more than others. By looking at how visitors engage with your individual case study pages, you can find out which projects are your true rock stars.
So let's imagine we're comparing two projects, A and B. When we look at something called engaged sessions, which basically just means visits where people actually scrolled around, clicked on things, and spent real time on the page, we see a huge difference. Project B is getting 400 of these engaged sessions, while Project A is only getting 250. That's our first big clue.
But then, the story gets even clearer when we look at how long people are sticking around. Wow. Visitors are spending more than double the time on Project B, almost 4 minutes on average compared to 1.5 minutes. The audience isn't just whispering their preference here, they are screaming that Project B is the one that really grabs them.
And that leads us to this, a clear, confident, data-driven decision. The evidence is overwhelming. Project B is your champion. So what do? The logical next step is to feature its best images, its renders, its story, everywhere. In your paid ads, on your homepage, everywhere. The data just took all the guesswork right out of the equation. So, we've made a smart decision. We've won a battle. But the journey doesn't end here. The real magic of this whole approach isn't in a single one-time fix. It's about creating a nonstop cycle of learning, testing, and improving. It's about mastering the feedback loop.
Part of mastering this is understanding the full story of how people find you. A simple model called last click gives 100% of the credit to the very last thing someone did, like a Google search just before they emailed you. But a smarter, data-driven model looks at every single step. It might show you that, hey, that Behance post someone saw 3 weeks ago was actually super important for getting them interested in the first place. It helps you see the hidden value in everything you're doing.
And it all comes together in this simple, iterative loop. It's a 4-step process you can just repeat over and over. 1. Identify a problem, like a page people aren't engaging with. 2. Make a guess why. Maybe the images are too big and load slowly. 3. Make a change. Let's compress those images. And 4, analyze the data and see if your change worked. Then you just do it again. And to turn this into a regular habit, you can just follow a simple checklist. Every now and then, check for tracking errors. Make notes whenever you launch a new project so you can see the impact. See which pages are your top performers, and always, always keep an eye on how your main conversion goals are doing. This is how you build a powerful, data-driven routine. So in the end, your portfolio isn't some static monument you build once and forget about. It's a living, breathing conversation with your audience. Every click, every scroll, every visit, it's all feedback. Your data is constantly telling you a story about what's working, what's exciting, and what people want to see from you. The only question left is, are you listening?